Hello there, YouTube.
Devin here again, and today isn't really a per se video on any specific subject or topic or anything like that, but or subject matter, I should say, or specific item. But this is more of a public awareness video, which means it probably won't get a ton of views or anything like that, but I encourage you guys to please pass this information along, post it to where it needs to go, and everything like that, or show it to people that need to hear it. The world right now is not exactly the best place to live, as a lot of you can tell from the news. And the state that I live in, which is Minnesota, seems to be getting hit pretty hard with some incredibly violent acts that are going on right now. And just seeing a pattern, I've noticed some things that can, as bad as it is right now, potentially make things a lot worse. And after all of that stuff that potentially could be a lot worse happens, can lead to a lot of bad things for a lot of good people. So, the last couple of months with the coronavirus and the stimulus checks and all of that other good stuff, America has seen an unprecedented amount of firearms being bought and sold and traded. More firearms were bought by Americans in the month of April of 2020 than any other time in human history. More guns were sold in April of 2020 than any other time in human history. There's a lot of new gun owners out there. A lot of people who might not necessarily know how to safely operate a firearm, how to apply their knowledge into an actual life or death situation, or potentially life or death situation. It's one thing to act when you know you don't have any other option, and it's one thing to have options and act incorrectly. Now with all of this violence going on, this anonymous violence, police forces standing down, I know in our state the National Guard has rose up to help kind of quell some of the violence. The Capitol is burning to the ground. There's looting, there's robbing going on, there's tons of horribly violent things that are happening right now. And coupled with all of these new gun owners and new gun purchases and stuff, there's a potential for there to be a catastrophic loss of human life here. And it's a terrible, terrible thing that could potentially happen. So this video is just to raise public awareness for that. I'm not saying that you guys should resort to violence, or that you should condemn yourselves to the violence and everything like that, but use your best judgment. Make sure, if you are a new gun owner, that you know the laws in your state as far as how to handle your firearm and what to do in a situation that you might need to actually use that firearm to defend yourself. Make sure that your immediate family and friends or anyone close to you knows how to operate your firearm and do it very safely. Make sure that your firearms are well cleaned and maintained, so that way when it does come down to the moment that you do need to potentially use it, it will work. Make sure you have the training and the know-how to use your firearm appropriately for the situation, where if you don't necessarily need to kill somebody or something, to possibly scare it or the person or whatever, use your smart judgment there. Make sure your family knows how to operate that stuff. I heard a thing the other day, and just watching what's been going on recently with how many guns have been purchased and how many new gun owners that I know personally, or people that are looking to very soon buy a new gun for the first time in their entire life, that there's a huge amount of education that is going to need to be learned at a relatively fast pace, depending on potentially how this all unfolds. And I want everybody to end up as safe as they possibly can in this situation, and that there needs to be certain certain rules and understandings of what is going on, because if people, even out of self-defense, just start shooting people and killing people, there's going to be huge repercussions after this is all over, good or bad. You just defending your family can easily be misconstrued into a murder. Depending on where you are and who's seen it and what your state's laws are. There's a lot of states that have, castle laws and stand your ground laws and everything like that, but there's a lot of states like my state where you have a duty to flee, or attempt to flee before you ever use your weapon against somebody. It's, there's different rules you need to know. It's not as simple as just shooting somebody. And then there's also the people out there who, not myself, but there's a lot of people out there who really abhor violence and guns and stuff like that. And there's, if you are not necessarily into maintaining guns and ammo and stuff in your home for whatever reason, there's plenty of people out there who don't have guns because of family members, but they know how to operate them, or something like that. Or if you live in a really urban area or a place where you cannot own a firearm, or it is potentially really hard to own a firearm, there's options for you, people. I recommend you get some protection, You don't necessarily need a helmet, but maybe a vest or something like that to help protect your family and make sure they know how to use that stuff properly and fit it properly, just like you would need to know how to maintain a firearm and ammunition. Make sure that you do everything you can to keep yourself safe in this thing, but please try to minimize damage to both the population and property and everything like that, because ultimately we all have to get through this. And it's going to be unfortunate that there's a lot of us that probably won't make it through this. And even if there isn't a lot, there is people already who aren't going to make it through this and will not make it through this. So just make sure you all stay safe and, do some reading. Learn about your firearms, your body armor, your basic medical techniques. Make sure your first aid kit has up-to-date equipment and stuff in it. Make sure you have your belongings and precious things where you can get them to leave in case of a fire, or locked up in a place where they will be safe. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of people need to consider right now, and I'm encouraging you guys, basically as a public service announcement here for me to all of you all over the world, because this is unfortunately now a global issue, with the rioting and the racism and whatever you're afraid of. It doesn't matter your stance on it. One way or another, it's happening, and it doesn't seem to show any signs of stopping. The world is quickly becoming a worse and worse place to live, and this is, a public service announcement to make sure that you are doing everything in your power to make sure you're safe and the people around you are safe. So, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys take this to heart and you go through and you make sure you have a first aid kit. You make sure you have everything up to date in that first aid kit. Please seek some videos on basic medical knowledge and how to treat minor cuts and burns and stuff like that. That information is available to the general public just about everywhere in the world. Please make sure, if you have firearms, that you're using them responsibly and you know your local laws and everything like that. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Hopefully this has sparked you or motivated you to check all of that stuff and make sure everything is up to date and current and reliable for you. So hopefully I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully it's on not as heavy of a note and we can go back to learning educationally and safely. And hopefully this all winds down soon. But in the meantime, please be prepared, please be safe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.